Chapter 401, Not Allowed to Smile in This Way at Other Women. 2 weeks had passed and Xiao Nan was back from school this weekend. Xiao Dongliang took the initiative to ask Xiao Nan which course she chose. Nan, are you going to choose humanities or science? Humanities. Is it because science is more difficult? No, Xiao Nan denied. My results are about the same for humanities and science subjects, but I'm more interested in humanities. Besides, Teacher Lu had a long chat with me. After learning of my decision, he is very supportive of me. Teacher Lu? Isn't that your form teacher? Was he the one I saw during the parent-teacher conference last year? Yes. Teacher Lu was the form teacher. It was no wonder that her father had an impression of him. Xiao Dongliang nodded with relief. Since Teacher Lu is supportive of you, it should be all right. The teacher definitely knew more than him. What the teacher said must be correct. It's strange that your sister had good results in the first year, but ever since she advanced to second year and chose the humanities course, her results have been falling behind. I remember she would always come in 8th place in her class in her first year. Nan, is the humanities course difficult? How could her results drop so drastically? Though it was not easy to maintain one standard, Xiao Zijin's results had dropped too much. Nan, do you think your sister has chosen the wrong course? Xiao Nan was changing her shoes and halted in her tracks at the question. She twitched her lips and said, Dad, I don't think my sister has fallen very far behind. To be honest, my impression is that her performance in junior high school was worse than in high school. I was really surprised when I heard that she placed 8th in her class. Her improvement was tremendous. In the 2 lifetimes, no matter how clever Xiao Zijin was, she was neither interested nor good in her studies. It was hard to believe that Xiao Zijin's results would improve by leaps and bounds when she was in high school. Is that so? Xiao Dongliang was confused. So, your sister's results have actually improved? No idea. Dad, I am hungry. What are we having for dinner tonight? I want to cook stir-fried spicy chicken tonight. The chicken was freshly slaughtered today. I will fry them now. Since Xiao Nan mentioned that she was hungry, Xiao Dongliang put Xiao Zijin's matter aside for now. There was nothing he could do about Xiao Zijin. What he must do now was to take better care of Xiao Nan so that she would not end up like Xiao Zijin. Ring. Xiao Nan had just sat down when the phone next to her rang. Nan, answer the phone. Xiao Dongliang's voice could be heard from the kitchen. Despite the long distance, Xiao Dongliang was still able to hear the phone ringing. His sense of hearing was very acute. Ever since Zhu Baoqiu gave this phone to the Xiao family, Xiao Dongliang did not have much opportunity to use the phone. It was only on rare occasions when the phone rang that he could be sure that the phone was still working. Hello. It's me. Brother Zai. What's wrong? Why are you calling me at this time? Brother Zai called at an opportune time. Wait a minute. Brother Zai, will Auntie Meow turn up suddenly like last time and give me a big shock? Even though she did not suspect anything last time, she may discover something fishy if we keep this up. At the thought of what happened last time, Xiao Nan had yet to recover from the shock. My mom is busy right now. Busy? What is Auntie Meow busy with? What could she be busy with? Qiu Chenxi came to the army. Why is she in the army? Xiao Nan stomped her foot. Qiu Chenxi could be said to be her love rival. Though Auntie Meow did not like Qiu Chenxi, Chief Zai seemed to like her very much and regard her as his daughter-in-law. She had yet to gain the approval of her mother-in-law, and her father-in-law was already a big obstacle to them. If Qiu Chenxi managed to make Auntie Meow have a change of heart, things would be bleak for Brother Zai and her. She must be after me. Zai Sheng curled his lips. He could confirm that Nan really liked him. As soon as she heard that Qiu Chenxi was at the camp, she seemed to be very anxious. But I didn't care about her. I am the regiment commander, whereas she is merely an intern. She has no chance to see me. Really? Won't your dad come up with an excuse so that Chiuchinexi can work with you? Yes, but it is up to me whether to accept or not. Nan Nan was spot on. His father liked to take things into his own hands. Brothers, you'd better watch out. If I find out that you have been in close contact with Chiuchinexi, that'll be the end of us. Chiuchinexi came from a good family background. She was beautiful and had graduated from college. She was also about the same age as Zai Sheng. She had the upper hand only because Brother Zai liked her, not Chiuchinexi. Other than that, she had no confidence in winning against her. Zai Sheng could be heard laughing from the other side of the phone. His low-pitched laughter sounded like the cello. Xiao Nan could feel his breathing right beside her ear, making her ear particularly ticklish. Xiao Nan took a deep breath. Brothers, I don't think you can get away with it by laughing. You are also not allowed to smile at other people, especially smiling in such a way to other women. Brother Zai was not only good-looking and well-built, but also had a very soothing voice. He was perfect from head to toe. If he was in the year after 2010 where the internet was the craze and people could upload their songs or clips onto the web, given Brother Zai's mesmerizing voice, he would be the talk of the town and well sought after among the ladies. Now that I am on the phone with you, I should be allowed to smile in this manner. Zai Sheng switched the phone to another hand. Nan Nan, you are usually very smart, but why is it that you are so muddle-headed now? I have known Chiuchinexi for many years. If I wanted to be too close to her, would I need to wait until today? In other words, if Zai Sheng had been willing, he would have taken a fancy to Chiuchinexi long ago. They might even have gotten engaged and married each other. There would not be Xiao Nan in the picture. Since it never happened, then it would never happen now or in the future. Zai Sheng was very clear about what he wanted. In this aspect, he had a very clear target in mind. Hence, it was impossible between him and Chiuchinexi. I will accept your answer. Xiao Nan blushed. Last week, she had just reprimanded Zhu Baoqiu for being too childish, but she was not any better in front of Brother Zai. I call you today because I have something to ask you. You will advance to the second year in the second half of the year. Is it time to choose the course? Yes. I have chosen the humanities course. Did your master give you any advice? My master? Don't mention him. He gave me the death order. Chapter 402, Zai Sheng's Plan. At the mention of Lin Yuankang, Xiao Nan rolled her eyes. Nobody in the family interfered with her selection of either the humanities or science courses. Everyone respected her thoughts and opinions. Even for Zhu Baoqiu, the most that he did was to change his own aspirations in order to choose the humanities course so as to be in the same class as her. Her master, whom she had known for a year, called her directly on the phone and told her to choose the humanities course. What about Zhu Baoqiu? I sent him to the science class, Xiao Nan said helplessly. Wait a minute. Brother Zai, you have said so much just to ask me this question. Xiao Nan felt much better all of a sudden. She was worried that Chiuchinexi would always spend time with Brother Zai. However, it was, in fact, the same for Brother Zai. He was worried that Zhu Baoqiu would always stay by her side. You should heed your master's advice. Zai Sheng refused to answer her question. Chiuchinexi would not be a threat to Xiao Nan, but he had to be mindful of Zhu Baoqiu. Nan Nan, you are still on the phone? Who called you? Xiao Nan was on the phone, chatting happily with Zai Sheng while Xiao Dongliang, wearing an apron, came out from the kitchen with a plate of spicy stir-fried chicken. The fragrant smell made one salivate. Xiao Dongliang liked spicy food, and he knew how to prepare spicy food as well, particularly Sichuan cuisine. Ding Jiyi and Xiao Zijin disliked spicy food. Back then, he was married and was busy with work, so everything at home was left in the hands of Ding Jiyi. He had to put aside his favorite food and hobby of cooking. Since moving out with Jiao Nan, Jiao Dongliang had picked up his hobby and spent more time cooking. "Dad, they smell great." Jiao Nan took a deep breath, the spicy scent stimulating her taste buds. "I am on the phone with Brother Zai. He knew that I am choosing the course, hence he called to ask which course I have chosen." "Zai Sheng really cares about you," Jiao Dongliang said out of the blue, sounding depressed. Even an outsider knew that Nan Nan was choosing her class and called to ask about her, but there was no news from Ding Jiyi. As for Zaijin, "Brother Zai is very good to me," Jiao Nan replied with honesty. She then grabbed a piece of chicken and put it into her mouth. "You have yet to wash your hands. Have you washed your hands?" Jiao Dongliang and Zai Sheng could be heard yelling at her to wash her hands. Jiao Dongliang had been watching her, so he caught Jiao Nan, who was fond of food, eating some of the chicken before washing her hands. But Zai Sheng was on the other end of the phone. He must have very good hearing and was as sharp as a detective to know what she was doing. "All right, I will wash my hands." In fact, she felt very hungry. She was starving when she asked her father about dinner just now. "Nan Nan, pass the phone to Uncle Chiao. I have something to tell him." "All right." Chiao Nan stretched her hand toward her father. "Dad, Brother Zai has something to tell you." She could take her time washing her hands. "Hi, Zai Sheng, what's the matter?" "Well, I'm pretty good lately." "Busy?" "Not busy. Actually, it's good that we are busy. That way, we will not have the spare time to think too much or create trouble for people around us." Zai Sheng could tell that Jiao Dongliang seemed to be troubled. There were only a few people that Jiao Dongliang was worried about, and among them, Jiao Nan was the only one who stayed with him now. Zai Sheng could tell easily who Jiao Dongliang was referring to. "No, it's fine. Everything is all right now. Nan Nan cares a lot for me. I am very good." "Yes. You must stay healthy as well. We will have dinner soon. You should go and have dinner as well. Let's chat next time. Goodbye." By the time Jiao Nan came back from washing her hands, Jiao Dongliang had already hung up the phone. "Get the rice. Don't starve yourself." Jiao Nan looked at the phone reluctantly and went to get the rice. After dinner, Jiao Nan went back to her room silently. Jiao Dongliang cast Jiao Nan strange looks. "Nan Nan, why do you turn in so early for the night? It's only 8:30. "Well, the syllabus for this semester is much more difficult. I was very tired at school. I got up early and slept late. I am very sleepy. Now that I am finally home, I have to rest well. Dad, can you see my dark eye circles? I can be compared to pandas now." "Well, then you'd better go to sleep. Studies may be important, but your health is also very important. Now that all of you are in high school, the workload should be much heavier. You rarely get the chance to have a break, so you must rest more. Even if you only get to sleep for 2 more hours, it is still good for your body." Now that Nan Nan mentioned it, she seemed to have lost a lot of weight. Studying had been very tough on her. "Dad, I will go to sleep now. Good night." "Good night." Jiao Dongliang urged Jiao Nan to go to sleep. He hoped that she would fall asleep as soon as she lay on the bed. Contrary to what Jiao Dongliang wished for, Jiao Nan tossed and turned for more than half an hour, yet sleep eluded her. A dainty girl like Xiu Jinexai actually chased Zai Sheng all the way to the army. Apparently, she still liked him. She had total confidence in Brother Zai, but she was not too sure about Chief Zai and Auntie Miao, especially Chief Zai. She heard from Sister Zai Hua that he really liked Xiu Jinexai. If there was a day when she married Brother Zai instead of Xiu Jinexai, would he be their obstacle? Would he find her not pleasing to the eye? In the previous life, Chen Jun's parents did not like her as well. It was Chen Jun who managed to persuade his parents to accept her. Thinking about what happened then, she felt sorry for herself. It might not be good to have a smooth sailing life as one would not have the chance to learn and develop. However, her life was full of twists and turns. It was too tough on her. She had no idea how Brother Zai would deal with Qiu Jinxi. With that thought in mind, she slowly drifted off to sleep. Qiao Dongliang went into Qiao Nan's room to check on her at 10 o'clock. Qiao Nan, who usually had a good night's sleep, had kicked the blanket to a side. Qiao Dongliang sighed and covered Qiao Nan with the blanket. The children nowadays might have a better life than them, but it was not easy for them to handle the heavy workload at school. Back then, he did not remember seeing Qiao Zijin troubled over her school work. Qiao Dongliang sighed and decided to stop dwelling over it. Qiao Nan, who was fast asleep, was clueless. She was worried about what would happen to Zai Sheng and her in the future. She did not expect that her father would misunderstand and think that she was losing sleep over her studies. Chapter 403, Qiu Jinxi came to show off. This was, in fact, a beautiful misunderstanding. Of course, what was even beyond Qiao Nan's expectation was that she would see someone she least expected to see on the next morning. Qiao Nan was really tired and she finally got to rest at home and had a good night's sleep. When Qiao Nan woke up the next day, it was already 8 o'clock. Qiao Dongliang had left a note for Qiao Nan. He went to the Yang family's residence to help out and the breakfast was placed in the pot. Qiao Nan could have them when she woke up. Qiao Nan had not changed her clothes. She was wearing a thin autumn shirt with an outer coat. She did not bother to comb her hair and went to brush her teeth. After brushing her teeth and washing her face, she heard a knock on the door, and her heart skipped a beat. Who is it? Who would come to their house early in the morning? She did not even have time to eat her breakfast. Qiao Nan went to the door and raised her voice. Who is it? There was no response. Qiao Nan frowned. Maybe they have got the wrong house. Qiao Nan was about to turn back when the knocking started again. Who is it? There was no response. Qiao Nan laughed to herself. She was lucky that someone played a trick on her early in the morning. This time, Qiao Nan no longer asked anything. She turned and went back to the house. Whoever was at the door could knock for all they wanted. She was not in the mood to read today. She wanted to watch television. As soon as the television was switched on and the volume was turned up, she could not care much about the knocking. The person outside the door seemed to know that Qiao Nan intended to ignore the knocking and spoke up. It's me. Qiao Nan almost tripped on what she heard. It was not indicative of one's identity at all. Nevertheless, there was no way that she would know who the visitor was. The other party seemed to realize the ridiculousness of the reply and took a deep breath before saying, I am Qiu Jinxi. Qiao Nan widened her eyes and dug her ears. Qiu Jinxi came to her house? Qiao Nan refused to believe it. She opened the door and was given a shock by Qiu Jinxi, who was dressed in white from head to toe. Even though Qiao Nan only met Qiu Jinxi once, and that was a year ago, she still remembered how she looked. Qiu Jinxi's hair was longer than a year ago, almost reaching her waist. This added an ancient charm to her beautiful face. The dress worn by Qiu Jinxi was very westernized. On top of the thick cotton was a layer of yarn, and the pattern was particularly beautiful. Covering her arms were little puff sleeves that were inspired by the Western royal style. The hemline used high-quality yarn, and the linings were thick, hence they opened slightly at the bottom, looking very beautiful. Qiu Jinxi looked as if she was a noble princess who came out of a fairy tale. Contrariwise, Qiao Nan, who only wore a coat with autumn clothing, looked as if she came out from the dark corners. They looked way too different. Qiao Nan blushed in embarrassment. She had acted on impulse. Why did she open the door straight after hearing Qiu Jinxi's name? She should have changed into something presentable. Her clothes might be no match for Chiuchinexai's. But she had to wear proper clothes at the very least. "Can I come in?" Chiuchinexai, who looked dignified just now, turned sullen. Xiao Nan had thought that Chiuchinexai was angry at her for showing up in shabby clothes. Not to mention that Chiuchinexai was still her love rival for the time being. Even if she was to welcome an ordinary friend into her house, it would be inappropriate to receive them while wearing her current outfit. For her to welcome Chiuchinexai in her current outfit, she must still be half asleep. Xiao Nan was upset at herself, but she did not know that Chiuchinexai was full of jealousy right now. Because Xiao Nan had just woken up, there was a faint blush on her face. She looked especially beautiful in that way. Her dark round eyes seemed to be sparkling and glittering. Even women would be mesmerized by Xiao Nan, let alone men. Her natural complexion and looks could not be compared to any amount of cosmetics or expensive outfits. Moreover, Xiao Nan had invincible youth. From that alone, Chiuchinexai could not match up to her. Chiuchinexai could not help but straighten her waist and puff up her chest. She could not lose to Xiao Nan in terms of her figure. Chiuchinexai was taller than Xiao Nan, but Xiao Nan had better body proportion than Chiuchinexai. Chiuchinexai could tell it at one glance from the autumn clothing that Xiao Nan wore. Xiao Nan was not as tall as Chiuchinexai, but her legs were slender and long. From the shape of the autumn pants, Chiuchinexai was sure that Xiao Nan's lower legs were longer than her thighs. More importantly, Xiao Nan did not have thick legs or bowed legs. Her calf muscle was just nice. From the way Xiao Nan dressed, her legs looked long and slender. Chiuchinexai could not help but glare at Xiao Nan. The autumn clothes that Xiao Nan wore also drew attention to her figure. Xiao Nan had curves in the right places. She was still young and might develop more curves as she grew older. To Xiao Nan, she felt that she looked terrible, especially with her messy hair that looked like a bird's nest. But in the eyes of Chiuchinexai, Xiao Nan's hair that was slightly over her shoulders was draped casually over her back. The few strands of hair that were slightly unkempt highlighted her rosy cheeks and made her look even more charming and mesmerizing. She was simply a seductive fox spirit. "Please come in." Xiao Nan stood to the side. After Chiuchinexai entered the house, Xiao Nan closed the door. "Miss Chiu, please have a seat. I will change into some other clothes and come out." Change into some other clothes. As soon as Chiuchinexai sat down, she turned hostile. "Given your family situation, do you think you have clothes that can compare with what I wear?" Chiuchinexai hinted that Xiao Nan's family situation could not be compared with hers. "I think Miss Chiu has misunderstood. I am just afraid of catching a cold. Do you want me to talk to you while I am dressed in this manner?" "Sorry, I am currently in high school. It is a very crucial time for me, so I have to take care of my health. I can't afford to make any mistakes." Xiao Nan looked ridiculously at Chiuchinexai. She knew that Chiuchinexai's family background was better than hers. The Chiu family was very established. Like brothers I, their grandparents were veteran revolutionaries. Although technically speaking, she could be considered as being born into a respected family, she and Zai Sheng were still worlds apart. Xiao Nan was not so foolish as to compete with Chiuchinexai in terms of their outfits. Without another word, Xiao Nan returned to her room and changed into her usual dress. She came out from the room and asked Chiuchinexai, "Do you want to have some water?" "It is nothing but boiled water. I prefer to have Westlake Longjing tea. I can't drink those normal teas, let alone plain water." "I bet you don't know. Uncle Zai is especially fond of tea, and he knows a lot about Chinese tea." Chapter 404, Got the Wrong Person? Actually, the reason why I like Westlake Longjing tea is because of Uncle Zai's heavy influence. I am sorry. I shouldn't be telling you all this. You must feel very bored. Uncle Zai is just like this. When he likes someone, he can have a lot of topics to chat about with that person. Of course, both of them need to have common hobbies and knowledge to be able to engage in a conversation. There is nothing much for Uncle Zai to chat about with someone who does not understand Chinese tea and has never had good tea before. Xiao Nan smoothed her hair. It seemed like Qiu Chenxai was very hostile to her. She might have heard of something for her to behave in such a manner. Miss Qiu, what you said sounds really familiar. When Auntie Miao first came to my house, she also complained that I did not have any good tea to serve her. However, from then onward, she would always drink the water that I poured for her. She is, after all, the wife of the chief. Although she is stern, she is very considerate of others and never makes it difficult for others. Qiu Chenxai turned green in anger at the mention of Miao Jing. Sure enough, on the 7th day of the Lunar New Year, Miao Jing indeed brought Zai Sheng to Qiao Nan's place, didn't she? The Zai family and the Qiao family did not know each other at all, so why would Miao Jing visit them on that day? What did she mean by that? Why the sudden change of attitude? Miao Jing used to like her very much and would always call her affectionately. In the blink of an eye, she had a total change of attitude toward her. Until now, Qiu Chenxai still could not understand what caused the change in Miao Jing. It was fine if Miao Jing did not like her, but why the sudden interest in Xiao Nan? She did not believe that Miao Jing would take a fancy to Xiao Nan. By the way, Miss Qiu, let me give you a gentle reminder. Tea has a natural color and is good to drink occasionally. However, if you drink a lot of tea every day, you should know that as Asians, our complexions are yellow. Too much tea will make our skin. Xiao Nan stared at Qiu Chenxai's face that was white from the layers of powder and sighed, shaking her head. She was curious about how Qiu Chenxai would look without makeup. You, Qiu Chen pulled a long face. Are you implying that my face is dark? Do you think your face is fair enough? Xiao Nan smiled. Miss Qiu, it's early in the weekend morning. Is anything the matter? Let me ask you. What is your relationship with Brother Zai? Xiao Nan's finger knocked on the table and looked at Qiu Chenxai curiously. In what capacity are you asking this question, and why do you think I will answer you? Xiao Nan was not sure what Qiu Chenxai had heard about her and Brother Zai. As far as the current situation was concerned, it was impossible for Chief Zai and Auntie Miao to accept her. Besides, she was still in high school. It was not suitable for her to expose her relationship with Brother Zai. She could not give a direct answer and she could not say no as well. Thus, she could only evade her question. I am Brother Zai's fiancé. Qiu Chenxai gritted her teeth. When she first saw this little girl more than a year ago, she felt particularly uncomfortable. In the end, after spending so much effort, not only had she failed to get Lin Yuankang to be her master, but she was also robbed of the chance by this young lady who came out of nowhere. She did not care that she was not Lin Yuankang's pupil, but Brother Zai was hers. No women could fight with her. Fiancé. Qiu Chenxai refused to drink water, while Xiao Nan liked drinking water. Is it true? Auntie Miao and Brother Zai have not mentioned this. When I see them next time, I must ask them. Auntie Miao likes me a lot, but why didn't she tell me that Brother Zai is engaged? She should at least offer me some candies. It's too much. Luckily, Brother Zai had told Xiao Nan about Qiu Chenxai. Otherwise, Xiao Nan, who was not wide awake early in the morning, might have misunderstood Brother Zai upon hearing such a piece of news from Qiu Chenxai. Xiao Nan, stop acting in front of me. We may not be engaged yet, but we will soon. Last time, you might be able to have Lin Yuankang as your master, but you will not be able to snatch Brother Zai away from me now. Stop daydreaming. There is no way that the Zai family will accept someone like you. Qiu Chenxai slammed on the table and stood up angrily. Even though she had yet to be engaged to Brother Zai, and Miao Jing had a change in attitude toward her, Uncle Zai was very supportive of her. She believed that Brother Zai would listen to him. Therefore, as long as Uncle Zai was on her side, she would be Brother Zai's wife eventually. Are you finished? Xiao Nan appeared to be very calm, more so than when she opened the door for Qiu Chenxai. If you are done, you can go back. What do you mean? You don't believe me? Do you think I am lying to you? Believe it or not, I will definitely marry Brother Zai before the end of this year. I will be his wife before he turns 25 years old. Qiu Chenxai was getting angry. Did Xiao Nan think that she is bluffing? Xiao Nan pursed her lips. I don't know why you came to my house to say this to me. As for the future that you have in mind, I don't care whether it will come true or not, and I don't need to express any opinion as well. It doesn't matter to me whether what you said is true or not. Qiu Chenxai might have said that she wanted to marry Brother Zai, but there was no guarantee that it would happen. Chief Zai was not the only one who could make the decision at the Zai family. Xiao Nan could not be bothered with what Qiu Chenxai said. Since everything was just her one-sided thinking, be it engagement or marriage, Xiao Nan did not have to trouble herself with whatever Qiu Chenxai said. Whatever Qiu Chenxai said was useless. Brother Zai's words were those that mattered to her. Xiao Nan looked as if nothing happened at all. It made Qiu Chenxai wondered whether she had the wrong person. Xiao Nan might not be the reason why Brother Zai gave her the cold shoulder. In fact, Qiu Chenxai did not know for sure whether Zai Sheng rejected her due to Xiao Nan. It was purely her intuition. She felt that Zai Sheng seemed to have a change of attitude toward her and that he seemed to be influenced by someone. Besides, since a young age, Zai Sheng did not mix with girls. But when Qiu Chenxai went to the army and had a long chat with Zai Yawai, she heard from him that Zai Sheng seemed to treat Xiao Nan differently. Even though Zai Sheng did not do much for Xiao Nan, but given his usual style of doing things, it was considered rare that he would do anything for other girls. Chapter 405, Xiao Nan was cleared of suspicion. With all these in mind, Qiu Chenxai could not believe that there was nothing going on between Zai Sheng and Xiao Nan. Qiu Chenxai was in a dilemma. Zai Sheng was so opposed to the engagement of the two of them. There had to be a third party between them. But she was not sure whether the third party was Xiao Nan or not. Apart from hearing some information from Zai Yawai, Qiu Chenxai did not have any concrete evidence. Qiu Chenxai tried to calm herself down. Then, she sat down again. You mentioned that you are in high school. That's right. Uncle Zai told me that you are the top student in the middle school examination in Pingcheng. You are pretty smart. How were your results after you entered high school? Qiu Chenxai said with a smile, I hope you don't mind me asking. It's just a casual chat. I don't mind. Xiao Nan arched her eyebrows. What did Qiu Chenxai mean by asking so much about her results? Thank you for your concern. After going to high school, I managed to maintain my standard. Do you mean that even now that you are in Pingcheng High School, you still maintain the first place in the level? It was no wonder that even though Xiao Nan did not come from good family background, Uncle Zai seemed to appreciate Xiao Nan's hard-working attitude when he mentioned her. Uncle Zai was very appreciative of girls who were of humble birth but strove for self-improvement. For now, Xiao Nan was not exaggerating. She had ranked first among her peers for more than a semester. You are really amazing. I heard that Pingcheng High School will compare the scores of its own students with those of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China students. You are the top scholar in the middle school examination last year. How was your result compared with that of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China students? Xiao Nan could not help but wonder why Qiu Chenxai asked about such details. What was her intention? Well, according to my form teacher, my results were a few marks higher. I see. Qiu Chenxai's eyes lit up, and her tone relaxed. Previously, She was like a cat whose tail was being stepped upon and all her hairs stood up. Now, she appeared to be very at ease. I am sorry for disturbing you for such a long time. Since a young age, I am friends with brothers I. We are basically childhood sweethearts. Our families have a tacit understanding, and I have always treated brothers I as my husband. Recently, I have been in a bad mood because of some issues. Hence, I had some misunderstandings about you. Xiao Nan, you are also a woman. You should be able to understand my feelings. I thought that someone was going to snatch brother's eye away from me. I was too anxious and made the wrong judgment. I am sorry for wasting so much of your time. If there's a chance next time, let me treat you to a meal as an apology. Xiao Nan pursed her lips. Did this mean that Qiu Chenxi had given up and believed in what she said? What's the matter? It's all right. There's no need to treat me to a meal. I do not have the time. Xiao Nan stood up and looked as if she wanted to send her off. Now that Qiu Chenxi had already figured out the whole matter, it was time to leave. She could not possibly intend to befriend Xiao Nan and chat with her, could she? This time, Qiu Chenxi stood up very cooperatively and smiled politely at Xiao Nan. It doesn't matter. Let's leave it to fate. You already have a hard time with your studies. I will not take up so much of your time. Have a good rest. You are Ping Cheng's top scholar in the middle school examination. 2 years later, you may be Ping Cheng's top scholar in the college entrance examination. Without waiting for Xiao Nan to send her off, Qiu Chenxi walked out by herself. Xiao Nan closed the door, knitted her eyebrows, and thought about everything that had happened just now. She did not understand what brought about the change in Qiu Chenxi. She was arrogant and hostile when she first came into the house. Why did she have a change in attitude? It was as if Qiu Chenxi had ascertained that she had nothing to do with Brother's Eye and that she was not the person who made Brother's Eye change his attitude toward her. How did Qiu Chenxi ascertain that? Xiao Nan shook her head. She decided not to think about Qiu Chenxi anymore and to focus on her studies. Yesterday, she had wasted the whole night thinking about Brother's Eye. She was not a true genius. If she did not work harder, she would not be able to do well in her studies. It was not easy to rank first among her peers. Chenxi, you are back. Qi Minlin knew where her daughter went. Have you clarified everything? Does the girl have anything to do with Zai Sheng? No. Qiu Chenxi sat down slowly. She felt more at ease at home. The stool in Xiao Nan's house was dirty and hard. Her bottom hurt from sitting for such a long time. Luckily, it did not stain her skirt. What made you so sure? Qi Minlin was quite surprised. You must not be deceived. Since you have made known your identity, even if the girl has something to do with Zai Sheng, she won't admit it. After all, the Zai family will not accept people like her. No, Mom. I am not a 3-year-old child. It is not easy for her to fool me. Moreover, I did not make the judgment based on her words. I made the judgment based on other circumstances. I'm sure that she has nothing to do with Zai Sheng. She's not the one that I am looking for. What made you so sure? Qi Minlin was worried. Back then, she had lost to a country girl who could not match up to her in terms of family background and education. Chenxi must not follow in her footsteps. Qiu Chenxi leaned against the sofa. Mom, this woman is quite interesting. I guess she knows that her family background is not good, so she wants to rely on her own effort to make it big. What does this have to do with whether she has any relationship with Zai Sheng? She was asking for the reason why Chenxi was so sure, but she did not answer her question. Qiu Chenxi sipped the fruit juice and lowered her eyes so that nobody would notice the sadness in her eyes. There is. Mom, do you remember back when I sat for the college entrance examination and did badly because of Zai Sheng? Of course I remember. Chi Minlan said in an upset tone. She knew that the college entrance examination was very important for her daughter. Chiu Chenexai was very clever and pretty. Since a young age, she had good grades. On top of that, she came from a good family. Hence, when she was still in high school, she was already assured of a place in the first-tier university. However, in order to prove herself, Chiu Chenexai sat for the college entrance examination and did badly. Zai Shen was the reason behind her poor performance. Zai Shen was 2 years older than Chiu Chenexai. Although the two families had consensus, Zai Shen never said anything about their relationship. There was once when Chiu Chenexai flared up upon hearing that some girls in the school were discussing Zai Shen, seemingly interested in him. She gave them a lashing for discussing Zai Shen. The two girls were not pushovers either. They retorted and engaged in an argument with her. What is your relationship with Zai Shen? You have no right to scold us. Chapter 406, Chiu Chenexai's Assumption. Zai Shen is my boyfriend. Am I qualified to say that? Chiu Chenexai indicated her relationship with Zai Shen, but the two girls did not believe her words. They asked that since they were in a relationship, Chiu Chenexai must get Zai Shen to come to school and admit their relationship in front of them. If so, they would not get in Chiu Chenexai's way in the future. Chiu Chenexai promised them and insisted that Zai Shen went to her school and admit their relationship so as to preserve her dignity. Zai Shen would never agree to such a ridiculous request. When Chiu Chenexai asked Zai Shen whether he thought of her as his girlfriend, Zai Shen only replied coldly, "Since when have we been in a relationship?" Chiu Chenexai was dealt with a strong blow. She disgraced herself and could not face the two girls for a while. As a result, Chiu Chenexai, who insisted on taking the college entrance examination, did very badly. The college that had already reserved a place for her had doubts about her and checked on Chiu Chenexai's previous results. The people from the Chiu family had to step in to ask for 2 months grace period. 1 week before college started, Chiu Chenexai went to the college to sit for a test on the high school syllabus. It was only when her results could meet the college's standard had she been able to study at the first-tier university. This not only left a stain on Chiu Chenexai's life, but the people from the Chiu family also had a bad impression of Zai Shen. At that time, I was distracted because of Zai Shen and couldn't focus on my studies. My results, especially in the 3rd year of high school, dropped a lot. However, Xiao Nan is quite capable. Last year, she ranked first in the middle school examination. Even after she started high school, she still ranked first among the level. Her results were slightly higher than that of the top student of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. You mean to say, this time, Chi Minlan finally understood what her daughter meant. Since Jiaonan's performance is very good, she can't possibly be in a relationship with Zai Shen. That is for sure, Chiu Chenexai said with confidence. Zai Shen had a change of attitude this year. A year ago, Jiaonan was sitting for her middle school examination. If she was in a relationship with Zai Shen, would she be able to focus on the middle school examination and become the top student? Zai Shen is often in the army. One can only see him a few times in a year. Jiaonan is still so young. I heard that Jiaonan went to school a year earlier than average people. If she was in a relationship at such a young age, would she be as mature as how I was when I was in high school? Back then, she was in her 3rd year of high school, yet she was affected by Zai Shen and did badly for her college entrance examination. Jiaonan started school a year earlier than her, and she was only in her 1st year now. She found it hard to believe that Jiaonan would be able to focus on her studies and maintain her standard if she had a boyfriend like Zai Shen whom she could neither see often nor keep in touch with. The high school curriculum is very difficult. Because of the science subjects, many girls do badly when they go to high school. They can only manage to get back on track after choosing the humanities course. Mom, do you think that Jiaonan could rank first in the level easily? It was only after she went to college, and her mother took a long time to persuade her, could she sort her thoughts and understand that apart from herself, Zai Shen would not have the chance to get to know another woman. Zai Shen might be indifferent toward her, but there was no other woman in his life. In comparison, she was in a much more favorable situation. That is true. Qi Minlin nodded. Luckily, you listened to me during your 4 years of college and seldom contacted Zai Shen, and thus you could focus on your studies. You finally managed to finish college with flying colors. If you acted like how you were in high school, you would not be able to do well in college. Chenexai was so capable, yet she was affected by Zai Shen. If it was a young lady like Xiaonan, she could not possibly have that much discipline. Mom, the most important thing is that when I told Xiaonan that I am Zai Shen's fiancé, she didn't have any reaction at all. I couldn't sense any anger in her. She even asked why Miao Jing didn't tell her or give her some candies. Mom, if she was in a relationship with Zai Shen, she would not have this reaction when she heard that Zai Shen is engaged to another woman. No matter how she tried to cover it up, I would be able to tell. But in actual fact, she did not show any displeasure. During Chiu Chenexai's college years, she took up some psychological courses when she had the time in order to get along well with Zai Shen and understand what he was thinking about. She tested Xiaonan during their conversation today. It was a pity that she was not competent enough and missed out the most important parts. Qi Minlin touched the necklace on her neck. Don't say anything more. Let me think about it. When she was young, she had suffered a big loss. She should have been Mrs. Zai, the wife of the chief of the army. It never should have been the country girl's turn. But in the end, she fell short of success and lost to someone whom she never thought of as her rival. She must not let her daughter follow in her footsteps. She might not be the wife of the chief, but Chenexai had to take this position. We cannot believe what Xiaonan said. She may not be the first among the level, and her performance may not be higher than that of the top student of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. We must investigate this matter to be on the safe side. She could not allow any accident to happen again. That's right. We have to get uncle to help me inquire about Xiaonan's results. It should not be difficult, right? It is best if we can have her grades for the last 2 semesters as well as the ranking lists of both Pingcheng High School and the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. She was not so stupid. She would not believe in everything Xiaonan said. Sure, I will definitely get your uncle to find out by today. Qi Minlin was also anxious to get to the truth of the matter. She was worried that she would not be able to have Zai Shen as her son-in-law, just like how she lost Zai Yawai to another woman. She quickly picked up the phone and dialed her older brother's phone number. Hi, big brother, it's me, Minlin. I have a favor to ask of you. Well, yes, that's it. Sure, I will wait for your good news. It will be best if you can give me an answer today. Oh, all right. Goodbye. After she hung up the phone, Qi Minlin patted Chiu Chenexai's hands. Don't worry. Since your uncle has made a promise, we will have an answer soon. Thank you for helping me and supporting me all this time, Mom. Chapter 407, Breaking Up With Me? At the thought of her father who was not keen on her marriage with Zai Shen, Chiu Chenexai was not very happy. Mom, Dad is too petty-minded. Back then, he already knew what happened between you and Uncle Zai, so why would he rake up the past now? Why would he be jealous of something that happened so long ago? That was then. What happened now was a different matter. 20 years ago, even though her mother first started going out with Uncle Zai, her father still chose to bend to his family's wishes and married her mother in the end so that the Chiu family and the Qi family could cooperate and bring benefits to each other. Decades had passed and her mother had given birth to her, but why was her father still angry about it? Your dad has always been like this. If Uncle Zai didn't, your dad would not have the chance to marry me. Forget it. Don't mention what happened then. If your dad hears it, he will be unhappy. Actually, Chi Minlan and Qiu Qin had a similar family background, but when compared to Zai Yewei, the latter paled in comparison. It was because Chi Minlan had no hope of marrying Zai Yewei that the Qi family settled for the second best by arranging her marriage with Qiu Qin. Mom, don't worry. I will work hard to become Mrs. Zai, the wife of the chief of the army. At the thought of the glorious life that Miao Jing now enjoyed, Qiu Chenxi had an ambitious look in her eyes. She wanted to marry Zai Shen not only for her own future, but she also wanted to take revenge on Miao Jing for snatching Zai Yewei away from her mother. Since Miao Jing snatched her mother's boyfriend, she would marry her son. If not for Miao Jing, she should have been the daughter of the chief of the army. That's right. You must do me proud. Chi Minlan smiled happily. After she married Qiu Qin, the best thing that Qiu Qin did was giving her a daughter like Chenxi who was clever and smart and understood her. Qiu Chenxi and Chi Minlan waited anxiously for the answer. True enough, her uncle was very efficient. He got back to them with the transcripts of the first-year students from the two schools in 3 hours' time. They looked at the stacks of transcripts before them. They did not need to search for Qiaonan's results. They only needed to look for the top students of the two schools. Qiaonan was telling the truth. She came in the first place for all subjects. Qiu Chenxi finally felt reassured. Mom, what now? Let's compare the results. The mother and daughter compared the monthly results. They checked diligently to see which student of the two schools had better results. They were very cautious, taking extra care not to miss any exams or tests. Even though there were a lot of tests and exams in Pingcheng High School and the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China, they painstakingly went through all the results. Qiaonan not only ranked first in Pingcheng High School for every test and exam, but her score was also higher than that of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China's top student. Although the score was only a few points apart, it still proved that Qiaonan was much better than the students in the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. Even if someone else scored slightly higher than Qiaonan in the college entrance examination in the future, it was undeniable that she had very good results. Even when Qiu Chenxi was in her prime, what she did was not as well as what Qiaonan did for the past 2 semesters. Qiaonan is really amazing. After looking through Qiaonan's results, Chi Minlan could not believe it. Most girls would not have such good results after going to high school, yet she could maintain the first place for 2 semesters. Qiu Chenxi smiled, apparently at ease. Qiaonan is so remarkable. So that's why when Uncle Zai found out that Zai Sheng has been helping Qiaonan, he did not blame Zai Sheng. Instead, whenever he mentions Qiaonan, he seems to be very appreciative of her hard work. Fortunately, such an outstanding Qiaonan was not her love rival. Otherwise, she would have been worried. Mom, although we are certain that Qiaonan is not the woman who has been in close contact with Zai Sheng recently, we still don't know who the woman is. If I can't figure out her identity and get rid of her, I can't rest assured. I don't wish for another Miao Jing to appear out of nowhere. It was a terrible feeling to lose everything you worked hard for at the last minute. No, that won't happen. Chi Minlan smiled in a mixture of regret and pride. Back then, if not for old Master Zai hindering us, I would be the one to marry Zai Yewei. You are luckier than me. Zai Yewei likes you because of me. Hence, you will have fewer obstacles than me. With Zai Yewei around, Zai Sheng's opinion doesn't matter. However, she hoped that Zai Sheng would be willing and more than happy to marry her daughter. In this way, Chenxi would be able to find happiness in her marriage and would not end up like her who married Qiu Qin, despite not liking him, for the sake of the two families. Mom, I am lucky to have you with me. Qiu Chenxi embraced Chi Minlan. Qiu Chenxi was very clear that what her mother said was the truth. Chi Minlan held Qiu Chenxi and patted her daughter's shoulder, smiling very brightly. You are my only daughter. Of course I have to help you. Chinexai, you are my life and dreams. You must succeed and take back all the things that I have lost. Yes, Mom, I will. Chiu Chinexai judged others by herself and felt that since her results were affected by Zai Shen, Xiao Nan, who was younger than her, must have performed worse if what she suspected had been true. Therefore, she put down her vigilance against Xiao Nan after realizing that Xiao Nan had been doing very well for her exams. Because of this, she missed the best opportunity to break up Xiao Nan and Zai Shen. Hi, is that brother Zai? During the weekend before returning to school, Xiao Nan took the initiative to give a call to Zai Shen behind Xiao Dongliang's back. Your voice is odd. Did you catch a cold again? Zai Shen was sharp. He noticed right away that Xiao Nan sounded odd. Chiu Chinexai came looking for me yesterday, and I caught a cold after that. Brother Zai, I still have 2 years in high school. What should I do? Xiao Nan did not want to be so selfish either. Her grades were good, but she was just an ordinary person. She had worked hard to achieve these results. If she had not been through a lifetime and was more experienced than others, she would have crumbled and suffered an emotional breakdown for having such a boyfriend and being visited by Miaojing and Chiu Chinexai. She would not have been able to concentrate on her studies. Do you want to break up with me? Zai Shen lowered his voice, as if a storm was coming. I can't. If I break up with you, I will not be able to find another person like you, Xiao Nan said miserably. In this lifetime, she was finally lucky enough to meet Zai Shen. She must be a fool if she broke up with him. Chapter 408, You are indeed my biological mother. What does that mean? Zai Shen relaxed. He could accept anything but a breakup. Zai Shen had lived for more than 20 years and had been through a quarter of his life. He had finally met a girl that he liked very much. He could not wait for her to grow up immediately so that he could marry her right away. If he had to break up with Xiao Nan right now, Zai Shen was not sure what kind of terrible things he would do once he lost control. In this world, no matter how calm one was, if they were agitated, they would be capable of crazy deeds. Zai Shen could stay calm in all situations except when Xiao Nan was involved. Do you want me to treat Chiu Chinexai the same as before? If you do that, then we will have to break up. Xiao Nan had no idea how brother Zai treated Chiu Chinexai previously, but because of his attitude toward her, Chiu Chinexai had the idea that she would eventually marry brother Zai. Chiu Chinexai could be a headache at times. She was too confident of herself. All right. Zai Shen appeared to be calmer and appeased. If Xiao Nan wanted him to treat Chiu Chinexai in the same way as before in order to avoid trouble, he would be really mad at Xiao Nan. So, what do you intend to do? I don't know. Chiu Chinexai came to look for me yesterday. I did not say anything out of the blue, and I have no idea how Chiu Chinexai came to the conclusion that I am not the girl that you liked before leaving happily. She did not come again today. If Chiu Chinexai does not bother me, then it will be for the best. You should know about my situation at home. I wish to grow up as fast as possible and to be rid of both my mother and sister, going somewhere far away from them. So, all the more reason I have to study hard. The next 2 years are very crucial to me, and I believe you have your own ambitions and goals as well. Continue. Zai Shen did not deny her words. He had never liked to rely on his family. He was appointed the regiment commander based on his own effort and hard work. Of course, undeniably. He had more chances than the rest because of his family. Brother Zai, let's try not to meet up as often as we used to do for the next 2 years in order to avoid trouble. We can communicate through the telephone. She also wanted to take these 2 years to know whether Zai Shen was serious about her and whether he would be able to withstand the test of time. What about letters? I am afraid that people will intercept our letters. Chiu Chinexai has already gone all the way to the army. If we continue sending each other letters, given her courage and means, she may intercept our letters. What if she gets someone to imitate our handwriting and initiate a breakup? That will be terrible. Xiao Nan had been watching a lot of television dramas. He. Zai Sheng smiled. All right, we will do according to what you said. Xiao Nan felt that she had gotten these ideas from the television dramas, but in fact, Zai Sheng knew that it was possible to pretend to be someone else and write a letter to the other party. After all, apart from the handwriting expert, nobody knew how to test the authenticity of the handwriting. Brother Zai, aren't you angry? You agree with me? Xiao Nan did not expect that Zai Sheng would agree with her. Zai Sheng tightened his grip on the phone. Actually, we barely have the chance to see each other. If we refrain from seeing each other, it is quite unbearable for me. However, this is indeed better for you and me. We have a long road ahead of us, and for the sake of it, we must be far-sighted. Nan, I am glad that you have such awareness. Do you really think so? Actually, she meant that unless she graduated from high school, it was best not to meet Brother Zai at all. Judging from Brother Zai's temper, he did not seem like he would readily agree to not seeing each other for 2 whole years. Nan, you seem to forget one thing. What? What did she forget? My mom. Auntie Meow. What about Auntie Meow? Xiao Nan was confused. My mom likes you very much. She even wants you as her goddaughter. So, as long as I am at home and my mom is also at home, we can meet each other without arousing any suspicion. Zai Sheng never imagined that there would be such a day where his mother, who was the most opposed to him seeing another girl, would become his excuse to meet with Xiao Nan without being discovered by others. Thinking of this, Zai Sheng smiled brightly and craftily, unlike his usual demeanor. Xiao Nan paused momentarily. That's right. How could I forget about Auntie Meow? She enjoys chatting with me. Well, someone is coming. Let's hang up now. With his mother as an excuse, there would definitely be a chance for him to meet with Nan in these 2 years. Well, goodbye. As soon as she heard that someone had entered Zai Sheng's office, Xiao Nan hung up the phone quickly. She was especially worried that it was Chiu Chen Xi. Unlike Xiao Nan, Zai Sheng hung up the phone calmly. You're on the phone again. Miao Jing entered the office and saw that Zai Sheng had just ended the call. Zai Sheng, why do I feel that you are always on the phone whenever I see you? Is there so much work to do? And every time it had to be communicated through the phone? Miao Jing used to stay in the army in the past and would drop by to see her son once in a while, but she seldom saw her son on the phone. Yes, Zai Sheng replied faintly. He tried to suppress his smile. Mom. You are indeed my biological mom. Of course. Miao Jing gave Zai Sheng a disdainful look. Of course I am your biological mom. Miao Jing, who did not quite understand, was perplexed. Did anyone tell you any nonsense? No, I just feel that at crucial times, you are the most reliable and dependable. Zai Sheng denied. By the way, have you seen Zai Hua? How is she? Don't mention it. She is a young lady, after all. Why is it that she has much more missions than you? She is always outside, dealing with guns. I am. Miao Jing's eyes reddened at the thought of the dangerous missions that Zai Hua undertook. She only had 1 daughter and 1 son. If anything happened to either one of them, she would not be able to take it. But people from the Zai family had the love and passion for the army life. She could not do anything to stop them. Chapter 409, Miao Jing's reminder. Don't worry. Zai Hua is very quick-witted. She will be fine. It has been so many years. Have you seen anything happen to her before? Zai Sheng kept silent for a while before comforting Miao Jing. Yes, it's just that nothing serious happened to her. Nevertheless, she is a young lady. I am worried that nobody will want her with her scars. Over the years, Zihua might have been fine, but she still had her share of injuries and scars. It did not look good on her to have so many scars. As her mother, she felt sorry for her daughter. To soldiers, scars are their medals. Zai Sheng disagreed. What crap are you talking about? Miao Jing could not help but use Jiaonan's tone of voice. If you are so capable, no matter how difficult the mission is, you should not hurt yourself. You are clearly a rookie. Hence, you suffered those injuries. It has nothing to do with glory. Rookie. Zai Sheng looked up toward Miao Jing. He had never heard Miao Jing use this word, but from her tone, it did not seem to be a good word. Where did you learn it from? In order to be comparable to his father, his mother specially learned etiquette. She had stopped using all those swear words and dirty words. Those who did not know his mother would have thought that his mother had a good family background. Of course, Zai Sheng heard this from Old Master Zai. Old Master Zai was worried because Miao Jing spent all her time on Zai Yai and neglected her children. He always shared with his grandchildren about what happened when Miao Jing and Zai Yai were young, and that Miao Jing did not have an easy time. It was all thanks to Old Master Zai that Zai Sheng and Zai Hua never once complained about Miao Jing. What do you mean by that? Stop evading my question. Miao Jing refused to admit that she learned it from others. Since Miao Jing refused to admit, Zai Sheng did not probe further. He could easily guess the answer. His mother's life revolved around his father. Apart from him, she did not have many friends and she did not have many chances to interact with others. Come to think of it, his mother led a life revolving her husband and had no time for herself. But Zai Sheng was elated that Jiaonan would have such a huge influence on Miao Jing. But you're right. Zai Hua and I should be more careful. Mom, is there anything else? I want to talk to you about Qiujian Xi. I have said that as long as you are unwilling, I won't force you to be with Qiujian Xi. But your biggest problem now is not me, but your dad. If you don't intend to be with Qiujian Xi, you must do something. Miao Jing was anxious for her son. Miao Jing was worried that Zai Sheng's engagement with Qiujian Xi would be finalized without him knowing. Don't worry. Dad may be very happy to see us married, but the engagement doesn't count if I am not present. In the future, there is no way that we can be married if I refuse to sign the papers. If my dad could make that happen without my agreement, I would have to hand it to him. No matter how his father intended to take matters into his own hands, his father and Qiujian Xi could not do anything without his agreement. You don't understand. Miao Jing sighed. There are some things that I have never told you and your sister. Since it's for your happiness, I don't care anymore. Actually, your dad has always liked someone else and she is Qiujian Xi's mother, Qi Minlin. They grew up together and have always had a good relationship. Basically, they are childhood sweethearts. Your dad had been dating Qi Minlin ever since a young age. However, there was once when your grandpa was injured and was rescued by my father. He stayed at my father's house for a short while. It was during that period that he grew fond of me and insisted that I became his daughter-in-law. He then forced your dad to marry me. In other words, without her, Qi Minlin should be the one who married Zai Yai. From the first day of her marriage, Miao Jing felt as if her happiness was stolen from someone else. Though your dad insisted to marry Qi Minlin, he gave in to your grandpa in the end. I am afraid that you will walk in your father's footsteps and end up like your dad and me, always having a knot in your heart and feeling unhappy for the rest of your life. If not for the fact that the happiness she had did not belong to her, she would not have led such a cautious life and neglected her children, putting all her attention on Zai Yai. My dad is my dad, and I am myself. It turned out that there was such a story between his father and Qi Minlin. It was no wonder that his father liked Qiujian Xi so much. She was the daughter of the woman that he once liked. Did his father intend to sell his son out to make up for his regrets in the past? Mom, since Dad and Chi Minlin have such a past relationship, why would you accept Chiu Chenexai and be so good to her? Chiu Chenexai was the daughter of his mother's love rival. Instead of being nice to Chiu Chenexai, his mother should be unhappy with everyone who was related to Chi Minlin. Miao Jing smiled bitterly. She did not answer Zai Sheng's question. She had already taken the plunge by sharing her past with Zai Sheng. If she was to go into details, it would be tantamount to throwing aside her pride and admitting defeat to Chi Minlin. All right, I will stop here. You should make plans for yourself. It's good that you are certain and confident. I am just worried that you are not prepared, and the final result may not be what you anticipated. Despite having deep feelings for each other, Zai Yawai still broke up with Chi Minlin all because of his father. He ended up marrying a stranger like her and lived the rest of his life with her. The reason why she agreed to the marriage between Chiu Chenexai and Zai Sheng was that she felt that, at least, Zai Sheng had better luck than Zai Yawai. He could marry someone he knew. Seeing the forlorn look on Miao Jing's face, Zai Sheng was lost for words. He did not know what he should say to his mother. Miao Jing's life revolved around Zai Yawai and the Zai family. If Zai Sheng suggested that his mother leave Zai Yawai's side and go back to the Zai family residence, faced with an empty house without her husband and children by her side, she might become even lonelier, and her thoughts might run wild. It was at this time that Zai Sheng hoped that Jiaonan would grow up soon so that they could get married as soon as possible. When Jiaonan gave birth to his child, his mother's life would not revolve around his father anymore. At least, she could help bring up her grandchildren and direct her attention to them. Jiaonan sneezed and rubbed her red nose. It was uncomfortable to have a cold and a runny nose. Nan, have you eaten the cold medicine? Do you want to go to the sick bay to get some pills? Zheng Lingling touched Jiaonan's forehead. She felt slightly at ease after she was assured that Jiaonan did not have a fever. No, I have cold medicine with me. I will have them and have a good sleep today. I should be better tomorrow. A girl leaned close to Jiaonan and whispered, Jiaonan, someone is looking for you. He is a handsome guy, but he does not seem to be from our school. Chapter 410, Childhood Sweetheart. A handsome guy who is not from our school. Jiaonan knitted her eyebrows. She did not know a lot of people or handsome guys. Where did he come from? Did he say who he is? No, the female classmate was over the moon, looking infatuated. To her, it was a blessing that a handsome guy would talk to her, albeit not really interested in her. Thank you. Seeing the infatuated look of her classmate, Jiaonan knew there was no way that she could get any answer out of her. Instead, she used a handkerchief to cover her red nose as she walked to the pavement on the side of the classroom building. Excuse me, you are? Jiaonan had not met many men, but they were all top-notch and very outstanding. Take Zhu Baokyo for an instance. He was overbearing, but he inherited the good genes from his father, Zhu Jinqi. He might be a high school student, but he was taller than most adults. Chen Jun might have a personality problem, but at least, he looked bright and cultured. Zhou Jun was upright and righteous. As for Zai Sheng, he was the cream of the crop. Although she had seen a lot of outstanding men, Jiaonan's eyes still lit up when she saw the man right in front of her. The man in front of her seemed to be on the thin side, but Jiaonan, who came from the 21st century, was very clear about one thing: some men looked thin when dressed, but they were, in fact, well built. Her intuition told her that this was the case with the man in front of her. This man was charming and urbane. He looked very much like the cultured and refined scholar in the martial arts novel who was well versed in martial arts. He had a handsome appearance and a comforting and pleasing aura. He was that type of man that women would easily fall for. However, no matter how he looked, Jiaonan could not help but frown and said, I don't seem to know you. Or rather, She had not seen this man before. Have you got the wrong person? In China, there were a lot of people with the same name and surname. Gao Yan was very surprised as well. To think that the top student whom his childhood sweetheart was full of praise of was, in fact, a pretty and quick-wit girl. She did not look nerdy at all. Are you Qiao Nan from first year's class 1? Yes. Then, I have got the right person. Gao Yan smiled and said, you don't know me, so please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Gao Yan, a second-year student this year. I am a student at the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. A second-year student at the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. That was the level Qiao Zijin was in. And I have known Fang Fang ever since a young age. We grew up together. So, since he was Fang Fang's friend, Gao Yan should look for Fang Fang. Why did he look for her instead? I am here to thank you. Gao Yan had a wide smile on his face. He was not full of himself, but since a young age, most of the girls he met were interested in him. Some even deliberately engaged him in a conversation, not caring whether he was in a hurry or not. Ever since he was sensible enough, he had only known 2 women that he found pleasing to the eye, his mother and his childhood sweetheart, Fang Fang. Qiao Nan could be the 3rd woman. After all, she was the classmate and roommate that his childhood sweetheart was very concerned about. Qiao Nan looked perplexed. I don't know you. What are you thanking me for? Because of Fang Fang. Gao Yan smiled bitterly. Fang Fang often mentioned you, so you must have known that she initially wanted to choose the science course. However, when she was back from school recently, I knew that she has changed her mind to choose the humanities course. Qiao Nan still could not understand why Gao Yan would come all the way to her school to thank her. Gao Yan was embarrassed to tell Qiao Nan of the conflict between him and Fang Fang. Gao Yan was 1 year older than Fang Fang, and so he was a level higher than Fang Fang. Since a young age, he had been doing well in school. Fang Fang was equally smart, but she was also very stubborn. Her parents were always full of praise for Gao Yan as if he was the perfect son they had always dreamed of having. Fang Fang would be upset because of that and would give him the cold shoulder at times. In fact, their conflict started when Fang Fang was in her 5th year of elementary school. Fang Fang might have good results now and was equally good in the science and humanities subjects. However, when she was in elementary school, she did very well in Chinese, but could barely pass mathematics. Gao Yan knew Fang Fang well and came up with a radical method to help her. He deliberately egged Fang Fang on so that she would give up on mathematics, saying that since girls could not do as well in mathematics as boys, she would not be able to do well in mathematics regardless of how much effort she put in. After being provoked by Gao Yan, Fang Fang locked herself in her room for the whole day. When she left her room the next day, her eyes were red and swollen. Fang Fang then constantly encouraged herself with famous quotes and devoted all her attention to mathematics. After half a semester, Fang Fang's results for mathematics were as good as her Chinese. In order to prove it to Gao Yan, Fang Fang had always put more effort and time in mathematics. Even in high school, she had declared that she would choose the science course. Gao Yan was helpless upon hearing this. Back then, Fang Fang relied on hard work to do well in mathematics. Similarly, when she was in the 1st year of high school, she had to work very hard to maintain her results. Fang Fang had beautiful eyes, but ever since the 5th year in elementary school, she had been spending so much time on reading that she had to wear glasses starting her 6th year in elementary school. She was only in her 1st year of high school, but her myopia was already over 400 degrees. Gao Yan was worried that if Fang Fang was so bent on studying in the science class, her myopia might exceed 500 degrees even before she graduated. Worse, she might pass this problem to her next generation. Gao Yan was full of regrets. He should not have come up with such a foolish method to help her. his method had backfired on him. Students would be divided into 2 courses in their second year of high school, and they had to make a decision in their first year. In the past 6 months, Gao Yan had been trying to make Fang Fang change her mind to give up on the science class, but all his plans failed. One's successes and failures were both due to the same person. In fact, Fang Fang's firm decision to choose the science course was due to Jiaonan. At that time, whenever Fang Fang mentioned Jiaonan, Gao Yan would be very angry at Jiaonan. However, Gao Yan knew that Jiaonan did nothing wrong at all. It was Fang Fang who was stubborn and obstinate. Nobody was to blame. Just when Gao Yan was anxious and witless, Fang Fang came home and told him that she would not choose the science course. She said that she had decided on the humanities class. When Gao Yan heard the news, he almost wanted to go to the temple to thank God that Fang Fang finally had a change of mind.